it's a joy to be together. This conference, as we were saying, is a chance for us to connect and to start building a network, something that all schools said they need to stay in touch with other schools and share about leadership, but not only about the challenges of being in a leadership position in a Waldorf school now. And we want to do it our way, which means to speak from our experience, to focus it on a process. So we are happy to have you here. We hope it's a good process. Maybe class, you can share the screen. So we go through the agenda. We already sent it to you, but just to have an idea of how we are going to do it. And we hope it will be live and supportive for everyone. So we have a very short introduction. Class will say a few words about the project and the conference. Then we will have a very, very short time about the dialogue process, which means the process where schools will share about their experience. And us, the others, the group, will reflect back something to them. We'll have 2 rounds, then a break, then a 3rd round, which will be a bit longer because we'll also have the sharing of the schools that are not present. Then a dialogue in pairs and our closing together to look on the conference, our next steps, and especially a very important question for us in the end will be how do we build our network? So after this experience that we have in the conference, maybe it's a good starting point for us to come up with other ways to make steps in building the network. And that would be our schedule for today. So I will invite class to say a few words, and then we will go into to explain a bit about the dialogue process.
Yeah, thank you, Roxana. So this conference is the first one in a row of 3 that we are going to organize in the coming periods. So there will be also a conference, a live conference in October, which is a kind of a combination of our conference and also the conference of the European Hans, how do you say this?
Commission for Steiner Waldorf Education.
Yeah.
European Commission for Steiner Waldorf Education, EXWE.
Oh yeah. That will take place at the same time, more or less, and we hope to combine it a little bit so that we have a big audience and then we can build on the network. And then another online conference like this next year. Anywhere in May or June, perhaps. But I think these, as Roxana mentioned, these conferences are part of the whole process of doing action research together, because we learn. It's also a way of learning from each other and helping each other and trying to make a real interesting and meaningful process of doing research and to develop the leadership in the Waldorf schools together. It's good to know each other, because at this phase where we are now, where the most schools are now, it is kind of relatively easy part of discovering the present situation and to understand the present situation. But later on in the process, when we have to build our judgments about the situation and to decide whether to make changes or to make decisions to do things different in a different way, then it can become more difficult, because then we can discover that the present reality based on the past has a certain power to remain as it is. And if we want to make changes in the leadership, then we will discover that reality can be resisting. And so it's good that we then help each other and that we know each other and that we really make a kind of, that we build on a kind of a community to make the change happen and to be kind of companions for each other on the way, on the path to a better Waldorf school leadership. So today, the schools will present about where they are in the process of action research, and we will reflect on it and give some feedback. And these presentations are also a kind of knowledge building that we do together. We write our observations, we make a presentation out of it, and we learn from each other to try to understand where you are. And I want to emphasize here that it is really important for the whole process to make, to fix or to make notes about what we really find, what we discovered together. Because the aim of this whole process is that we not only serve ourselves, but that we also serve other schools in the future with a better leadership, Waldorf school leadership. So we are working also for others in this process. And another thing is we have to be held accountable for how we spend our money from the Erasmus Plus program. And they want to know if we can really make impact with this project. On a new kind of, or a renewed kind of leadership. So we will create workshops, and we will design and create and start a masterclass about leadership, and we will publish things. So everything to make this impact. And for that reason, I think it's important to share now and to have this conference and to know from each other, what have we done so far? Where are we? And I think that will help the process. That is a little bit from my side, the importance of this conference embedded in this process of action research. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Klaas. Then I think we can move on to the next step, which is to share a bit about the dialogue process, to present a bit the dialogue process that we will go through. Klaas, if you can go to the next slide.
Next slide.
Yes. So how we are going to share and reflect. As I was saying also in the email, but it's good to say it again now. We will have 3 rounds. Each round will consist of 2 schools sharing their experience. So it's about just an opportunity for each school to reflect on what happened and see how was the experience for them, and now to come and share with us how is the process, what did they find, what were the challenges. So for this part, we have 10 minutes for each school. But of course, if you need less time, it's not a problem. A problem is if you need more time. If you need less time, it's okay. But we have 10 minutes for each school. So after 2 schools have shared their experience, we will gather in groups of 3, and we will put together our observations. Yes. So please, when you listen, take your notes, yes, and try to pay attention to each school. This is the support we give each other, yes, this support of attention and reflecting back. So in groups of 3, we gather our observations and we write down what we can reflect back to the school. So maybe it's an image that I got listening to this to the process of this school. Maybe there's some questions that I think could be helpful for that school. Maybe I have practical tips from my experience. Yes. So we will gather all this with the purpose of giving it as a supportive reflection to the school that presented. And in each group, there will be a designated person, yes, which will write down these observations and these things that we want to reflect back. It will write down on a Jamboard, and class Hans will explain immediately what's with the Jamboard. And then we come back and we have 10 minutes to give our observations in the plenary back to the two schools. And I will give the word to Hans to explain about how we will take notes on the Jamboard. And then if there are any questions about the process, please let me know.
Yeah, there is a Jamboard. That's a Google application. First of all, I want to show you, and afterwards I send you a link in the chat, and then via the link you can come into the Jamboard, in the same Jamboard I show you now. But first I think it's nice to show how it works. So I share, oh, that's the wrong one. This one. This is a Jamboard. When you you click on the link, then you find this. This is a kind of whiteboard, but there are more than one. You see here in top. I said here breakout room 1, round 1, because every round we have a new Jamboard. Here on the left. Here on the left, you see all kinds of things you can do. Here you have a pen, you have a gum, you can, how do you say that? You can change things. You can select, and this is the most important. Here you can make a notation. You see here, when I click on it, you can also take different colors. And then you say, hey, it was okay. And then when you did it, you see here something which you can just put on it. You also can put an image that you have to select. Oh, but I don't think people will use this. And you can make a circle. You can also put some text on it and other things. This is the most important, that you use the notation paper, the note paper, and when you are in breakout room 1, then you use this one. You put the schools of the round, and here above you see how you can go to breakout room 2, breakout room 3, 4, etc. So you have to know in which breakout room you are, and then you can use this. Are there any questions? Everyone understand?
I have a question. So we use those stickies, color stickies, or do we also write text? Because the space for the sticky is limited.
But you can change the sticky. You can make it bigger and smaller. So my experience is that the stickies are the best to use.
Maybe also because the size of the font will change when you put more text in it. It will become smaller and smaller. So there is no problem of space on those stickies.
Thank you.
Okay. Then I think.
Do you feel ready for this new experience?
Oh yeah.
So if there are not other questions about the process, then about the dialogue process, then we can start with the first school that wants to share. Who wants to be the first one?
Well, we can be the first one.
Okay,
Okay, well,
I'm here with you.
And maybe Thomas must be the second one because he is short in time, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we have the first round already. Yes.
shall I begin? Or are we
Yes.
doing this first round? Okay.
Yes.
So Teresa de Lorenzo and myself, I am Olga Gennaro. We both are eurythmy teachers at the Madrid Waldorf School, and we both teach eurythmy to the whole school. Teresa mainly in primary, and I'm in the upper school. So we have been working with our colleagues the aspect of how to build leadership through eurythmy. And right now we are in a process of re-election of the new management team, which means that all of us gather together more or less 2 hours, and we're going through different processes at school. And either at the end or in the middle, Teresa or I are doing 10 till 15 minutes eurythmy with our colleagues. Now, last week, I presented a fairy tale for class 6, which the whole school has seen throughout 2 days because we don't fit in our hall. And I've done Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. And I had to think a lot about how was I going to introduce a fairy tale to upper school pupils as well as to my colleagues? Because as you know, many upper school teachers haven't got really a good foundation in anthroposophy. And the way they approach a fairy tale is somewhat like, oh, a fairy tale, that's good for class 1. That's good for class 2. But what does a fairy tale nowadays have to do with us? So I have been reflecting a lot about what leadership is all about and how do you build a community. So I have used the images of this fairy tale of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs and have tried to show the teachers and the pupils that nowadays, especially at Waldorf schools, we work a lot trying to make teamworks possible. So our pupils are constantly working in small teams to present something, to speak about something, as well as the colleagues. We have to work together to looking forward to a new re-election. Now, in Snow White, we see 2 main characteristics, which I think are very, very actual. In the first place, we have to do with evilness. So Snow White has to run away from her stepmother, and 3 times she is seduced through 3 witches. So this is something which we will constantly see at our schools, how many times lies are enveloped and wrapped up in an apparently truth, and how difficult it is to find really what truth is about. And on the other hand, I think this is the most important one. The 7 dwarfs aren't only 7 nice little dwarfs. The 7 dwarfs are a community, and they are much more than a teamwork. So a teamwork or working in a team would be the basis which allows us later on to create a substance of community. The first step is working together in a team, but a team always has an aim, whereas a community isn't striving towards an outward aim. A community is in itself, I would say, a substance, a spiritual substance, which makes possible that we can go forwards. And how do you build a community? What is really a community about? What is the quality of a community? In our experience as eurythmy teachers, well, we did this 1 hour performance, which I didn't want to shorten because I wanted the pupils to come into an etheric experience throughout time, and I wanted them to dive into the images. And the most amazing thing has been that afterwards, the same day, and the days afterwards, we both have seen how it's like when you throw a stone in a lake, and all of a sudden you see these circles around the stone, and these circles grow bigger and bigger and bigger without an effort. You've thrown the stone, and then the circles begin to grow, but you don't have to make a big effort to that, because you have confidence that what you have thrown is just a stone, the right stone. And I wanted to share this with you because our pupils and also our colleagues have, many of them have told us how wonderful this was. And suddenly I was teaching Eurythmy class 11 with a very, very difficult group. And all of a sudden, the most difficult kids, oh, Miss Gennaro, Eurythmy was wonderful. They're much better than we are with gestures. And the small kids as well, who Teresa teaches. So one can see that when one makes an effort to, through the artistic processes enable us as well to build up social processes. And I think art nowadays is one of the most important and future aspects of building a community because it has to do with creativity. And creativity is something that no robot and no computer can bring about. And we are seeing each time we're working with our colleagues how 10 or 15 minutes of diving into a short artistic experience is helping us to build very slowly and of course very humbly, very, very humbly, short, intense experiences. And afterwards, when we keep on dialoguing about who's going to be the next director, you can see, if you take a step backwards, how the artistic process makes colleagues a bit softer and helps them to listen a bit differently, not better, but differently. And this is something I just wanted to share with you. And I'm speaking now because my English is a bit more fluent than Teresa's. Yeah? Thank you. That's a really good point. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, you still have 4 minutes. Is there something that you would like to add about the process we went through together, or is your presentation?
I think it's okay. It's okay like
Okay.
this.
Thank you.
Maybe if there
Then-
is, because we have a little bit of time left, that if there is a need for clarification right now that someone can ask.
Yes, we didn't understand well. The fairy tale you are using is the 7 swans, no?
Yes, Blancanieves. Snow White.
Okay, no, we understand
Is that
another tale. Okay, and this is because you are going towards a renovation about the administration of the school.
No, they're two different things, but they have a relationship. I've just brought it as an example.
Okay.
In this fairy tale, you can see that the dwarfs have to do with nature and with etheric forces. And Snow White is left alone, and she's not harmed by any animals, and she finds the house of the 7 dwarfs. Now, the house of the 7 dwarfs is the image of the soul, of the human soul. And they say to her, you can stay with us if you keep everything clean and in order. So there you see the 7 planetary qualities. If you weave and if you cook and if you make our beds, you may stay with us. So the 7 dwarfs are asking Snow White something which they know she will be capable to achieve. They do not ask her to do something very difficult. They ask her to do something they know she can achieve because she is somebody who has the 7 qualities of the 7 planetary forces in herself. So as adults, we can ask ourselves, what does weaving mean? It's just not knitting. Weaving means, have I the ability to create social relationships. Can I cook? Well, cook is an alchemistic process. Am I capable of changing the materials so that they can nourish other people? Can I keep every day everything in order and clean? This means, do I meditate? Or am I capable of looking at my own shadow? And each time I go to the school community, am I capable of putting apart my shadow and going into something clean and in order? So this was just an example of how the images of a fairy tale have to do with the community, with the whole community, with the parents, with the school, the teachers, and with the pupils.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, many thanks.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's also good if you share your leadership question, Olga. So then it's they can also make the connection, the leadership question that you're working with.
How can I assume full responsibility from a balanced position? So once more, how can I assume my full responsibility with equilibrium, with balance, with inner and outer balance? Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa and Olga. So we can move on. Yes, we already spent the 10 minutes. Thomas,
yep.
You would like to continue?
Yeah, no problem. I am Thomas. I am director or principal of the secondary Waldorf School of Flanders. The project isn't evolving that very smoothly because of a lack of time and lack of time probably is the main reason. But in fact, we did realize a lot of things, but we have to put them more into the system, which is proposed in this project. So our school is a very big school, which is growing, very, very intensively. We have now 1,700 pupils, so 1,700, spread over 8 campuses around Flanders. And I looked up 7 years ago, we only had 1,000 pupils spread over 5 campuses. So I think that's illustrating the question the school has to cope with, a question of growth and transition, which is necessary to cope with that growth path. And there are 2 reasons to do that. There is a question of our local coordinators. So each campus has a local director, which is in fact a teacher who is lesson free to organize his campus or her campus. But they are mainly working in the field of pedagogy, and they are confronted with mostly other things than pedagogy. So they are confronted with infrastructural needs, with financial needs, with administration matters, and all that kind of stuff. And on a meeting in October, with my local colleagues, we had kind of a questionnaire from which was clearly that they all 8 of them wanted to how do you say it, to go back to that pedagogical responsibility instead of all that coordination stuff on the more business related field. So I think that's a good starting point to start up some transition movements. There are also legal regulations which force us to do some reorganization as well in the field of education in Flanders. So we are regarded one school, so we have to act as one school. So for instance, when we have a visit of the government supervisors, they will take into account the whole of the school and not only one campus. So we have to prepare for that. But also organizational regulations, also European regulations, force us to do more centralized kind of work. So in fact, the research question Klaas and I had come to. So Klaas is my emo buddy in this project. It's a very nice collaboration. So we realized a question in which we wanted to make clear the responsibilities between me as the coordinating director and the local responsibilities. So that's not clear now, not always that clear because of that growth path. Things have changed, but the structure of the school didn't change on the same how do you call it, same speed. Yes. Okay. So that's, I think, so we didn't do a questionnaire after the start of the project, but in fact we did one before it. So I think we have a rather clear view of what we are facing with. And we already have 3 projects which are the next step we have to cope with. So the most important thing we are doing is financial centralization. So instead of 8 separate financial systems, we have decided, the board of the school have decided to merge it into one system from September the 1st onwards. So it's a transition path which is very, very, very fast. And we are coping with it now. It's a lot of work, but there is no resistance on it because everybody sees how important it is. So the preparation to illustrate the importance of it was done rather well, I think. So that's a huge project. It's I don't have to say it. It's complex stuff, of course, to reorganize financial financial administration of a huge organization. It's not that easy. Then we have 2 smaller transition projects which we are realizing. That's one about administration of the teachers. Teachers. How do you say it? Class the personnel. Yeah. The teachers' administration, so that they get their wages, and so we are. It is also separated in 8 parts, but sometimes in some campuses some campuses are rather small, so we have less than 20 teachers over there, and then there is some person who has to specialize in all that regulation stuff which occurred with teachers' work. So we are clustering it into smaller units of 3 campuses together. So that's another one. And the same we wanted to do with on the domain of prevention. So the prevention work, is everything safe or not? It's also divided into 8 parts now, and that's also not working good. So also in that domain, we wanted to move onwards to a clustering of 3 campuses together, something like that. But that's less concrete than the financial stuff. But that's where we are standing now.
Yeah.
And in fact, when you see leadership, it's yes, I'm already years. I say this is a necessary transition. Even before I was a director, I was one of those local responsibilities, and even in that position, I said that this would be necessary. But we took our time to to make everybody ready for it. It's a transition process which hasn't started this year. So we are working on it. Yes, for years, I think, to change everybody's mind. And now in October, when we had that meeting, it was a 2 days meeting. It was clear that every nose was in the same direction. So yes, I think that's necessary to make it work and to realize it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible at all, because there would be resistance, or because it's often a question of autonomy, which who has the autonomy to do things, and everybody agrees to level it up for certain domains. So yeah, it's working.
Thank you, Thomas. So
You're
now
welcome.
we have.
Can we have
our
again
two
the leadership
experiences.
question?
Yeah.
Can we have again the leadership question? For me, it was not so clear, Thomas.
Do you have one sentence in English, or
Yes.
Yes.
or do I have? I haven't it with me now. One moment.
You said make clear responsibility of the center and of the campuses.
Yes, something like that. But I look it up. Yes. What we said was, how can, so we have the director and the local responsibilities are together the coordinating team, let us say. And the question we had was, how can the coordination team of the school can evaluate to a more clearly division of responsibilities between the local level and the central level. That was the question. That's the question.
Yes. Once
Yeah.
again, and slower, so people
slower.
can write it down.
Now I have to say the same thing.
Yes.
How
You just
can
have,
the
you just have
Excuse
to
me?
repeat it. You just have to
yeah,
repeat
but
it. Yes.
I invented it now, so I didn't read it.
Okay.
How can the coordination team of the school?
Yes.
How can the coordination team of the school can evaluate
Mhm.
to a more clearly division of responsibilities between the local level and the central level? I
Mhm.
think it's the same.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, or we can go into our dialogue? Okay, so thank you. Very interesting. Two perspectives, some similarities, some polarities, but I think it will be an interesting dialogue to gather our observations and to write down what we want to reflect back to the schools that share their experience and their perspective on what is happening on leadership level in their school now.
I've put the link into the chat.
Okay, it will be available also in the breakout rooms.
I don't know. So maybe you copy it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you just put a press on the link, then in your browser it will open, and then you can go into the breakout rooms.
Okay.
I made the breakout rooms ready now. 3 breakout rooms. 2 of them are with 3 people and 1 is with 4 people. Here we go.
And we know the number of the breakout room. It's
Yeah, the room numbers the rooms they have numbers. So room number 1,
Right.
room number 2, number 3.
Wait, Teresa, do you have a question?
So I can't open the link.
you can't open the link.
Yeah. How do you do it?
Click on it. Click
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it will
two
open,
times.
Then
I have one question too. Yeah.
I did it twice, but it doesn't work.
does anybody else have this problem?
Maybe you have to copy it and then put it in your browser.
Okay.
And if not, let's hope that the other people because there's just one person needs to open it from the breakout room. So maybe someone that you're in the room with can open it, Teresa.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yes.
I'm copying the link in our. Sorry, I think. Yeah. No.
No. Okay, then if you will be with 2 other people in the room,
Yeah.
so maybe they can
Invite me.
they can open, yes, because only one person needs to write in the in each breakout room, so it's okay, don't worry.
Okay, thank you very much. Olga and me will be together because we are in an only computer.
Yeah, but in your room, Hans will be with you. So
okay, thank you.
You are lucky. Okay, so see you in 20 minutes.
No.
Thomas.
Question. So is it breakout room 1, but do they fit in 2 pages for each school or all put together in one?
You just write out the name of the school and the observations, the name of the school and your observations.
So 2 pages per breakout room.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
See you soon.
Grabando. We are now in the main session. Okay.
Okay.
So Erika joined in the meantime. I think that's a good thing. Hello, Erika.
Hello.
Hi.
Morning.
Hi.
So now sharing.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody. Now we have 10 minutes, not more, to give something back to the schools that presented. So what can we share from our dialogue in the breakout rooms that could be or not useful for them? Then they can decide if it's useful or not. Maybe some observations, maybe some practical tips.
I'm still working on it. Oh.
I think this Jamboard is driving us all a bit crazy.
It's very, you have to...
It's quite difficult to do it. So
when we start with the Belgium case, because we also reflect on Teresa and Olga, but they were the ones who presented. And afterwards we reflected on Thomas, and we said he was very clear in the structure and the approach he had. And we discussed something about how you get so many views and so many different people, how you can get them combined into a same vision. That's probably the most challenging question for the next steps. And when we reflect on the fairy tale, it was nice to hear the fairy tale as an image of working together and leadership and building on a community, but also I asked them about their leadership and how this represent their leadership and their questions. And afterwards, there was a clear talk about the position Teresa is in now, and which will change somewhere in March. And that's also a difficult question. That's from breakout room 1. Maybe you have to add something, Teresa or Olga?
Well, I think that all the schools, or some, the 2 schools are in the same position. We have to find the way to work together with this with the same vision. I think this is the difficult thing in all of the schools, in the Thomas schools, in our schools, and I think in the other too.
And also, what does Thomas spoke about? How do you evaluate? Well, you can evaluate, I think, if you communicate and if you listen. So there's so many schools, 8 schools, they will have to communicate a lot and do a lot of listening. What's the vision of each school until they can come to a common vision?
Thank you. Room 2. Room number 2. Any observations or reflections?
You want to say something, Angelica? You make all the.
Wow.
Sorry, I was searching for the microphone. This is what we wrote, like to remember, but what it was inspiring for us all in the first example, the school from Madrid, is how they used artistic in order to build leadership. And we realized that we can act more on this also. We can do more on this. I think your example was inspiring for us.
Yeah, we had Thomas in the group who said he could immediately internalize this dimension to strengthen that in his own process.
Yeah, actually, I said that we don't do what we teach actually in Flanders. So we integrate artistic work into our lessons in every lesson, of course. But when we come together with the board or with my coordination team, we don't do it. So that's something I take into my mind to take with me. Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Good exchange. Okay. Something else, or we can move to room
I think
3?
there is one common thing between the 2 schools, this change that needs to be made. It's like transforming, like alchemy, transforming something, like more campuses or upper school with primary school. And this is something that you need to be aware of, because this transformation is what's keeping you alive, connected.
Thank you. Nice observations. Okay, and from room number 3, maybe who would like to? Maybe Manuel, you can say something, or Sarah.
Okay.
I think it's a really good idea to work with Eurythmy, because Eurythmy works in the etheric body, and to create an etheric body with the whole community is a good thing, because in the end you can speak the same languages, not in the head, but in another level. And because it works also with the 3 levels, think, will, and feel, and is a total process. I think it's really a good idea.
I was observing that we are here in about 13 persons, and we have 3 or 4 arithmetic teacher. It's not so so interesting.
Interesting.
Also, I am
observation.
a rhythmist.
Yes, in fact, you are the 4.
Good observation.
We have also we have not all things right down, Manuel right, but we Teta, you can say it better. But we also have the question: how can you, when you have such an example, how can you focus on that during the time? How can you make that? And you make it often and use that quality. So, yeah, how can you learn about it?
And that's not once in a time.
No, how can you make a, yeah, Teta, you say it, how can you make it focus and learn to make that yeah, useful? You can make it often. Yeah.
Is this a question?
Yes, for you, but also I think also for us all. How can you? This is not, and for you it was not once, but how can you make it that you? Now, what Thomas also said, you use it, but you use it with quality. And what is working, and how can you? And that's what I'm thinking about. How can you take the night with it, and how can you during the time? How can you make it a quality from leadership?
Maybe this is also a good question to take with us, not to answer now, but yeah.
Good. So I think we can move on.
Yep.
Who would like to be the next 2 schools to present for us?
I can present the Espoo. It's now it's in your time.
I think it's better for the schools that are not present to be in the second part.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Then this leaves me.
Okay. And maybe Italy?
Yeah, okay, we can try. Okay.
You will succeed. You will not try, you will succeed.
Answer.
They did a great job.
It's just about your experience, so there's nothing can go wrong.
Okay, we started some months ago with the questionnaire where I spoke in previous meetings, but this questionnaire helps us to find some critical issues about our school. And we've had a focus on 3 of these critical issues. The first was the the relationship about works and free time for the people that works in the school. The second was the relationship between works and money. And the third was the vision for our future, and what the people that works in the school has inside about their vision about the future. So we found that there are some problems, several problems about this area about works and free times, because a lot of people feels that there is no good balance in this relation, and also it was see on the money question. This and so with Erica, we were see that we have to do I cannot say a leap of consciousness towards the relationship between school and business, school and free times, because actually we are in the conscious soul era, and so we have to do probably works inside the school to improve and to solve these problems that are inside the people, the teachers that works in the school. Actually, these critical issues are inside the people, but not. We see that they are not expressed. For instance, when we spoke with the administration of the school, they say to us that in the last years, on 46 persons that works inside the school, from teachers and also cookers or administration, only 2 of these persons came into the administration to spoke about their problems about money or about free time. This is interesting because when you make a questionnaire, a lot of people say that there are these problems, but only 2 they spoke really to solve their problem. So we are now thinking what we can do in the future. We also make observation because we had an experience that is not so diffuso. It's not so
Wide.
widespread in the Waldorf school, because we have a sort of nursery. We have that accept the child from 0 to 3. And this was because several years ago we have to answer to that to our country that the people asked to open this this sort of kindergarten for babies, and this works very well, but it's not on the it's not very related on Waldorf beliefs, because yeah, beliefs, because yes, because on Waldorf vision, the babies from 0 to 3 has to be at home with their mother, okay, but we around the house there are a lot of sort of nursery, and we try to do a new one that with the helps of Waldorf education now is a reality that is really appreciated. And so now we have to see that we could open another one, because we have a lot of requests about this. On the other hand, we have the vision for the future that we need to open some more high school, We are on the opposite. Actually, we in Italy there are very, very few high school for the students for that and that has ended the 8th class. And so we are thinking about this for the future. And another thing that I was just thinking this morning about this is that we have to do some workshop inside the school. One was also spoken with Erica that we could do some workshop also involving the families of the school, not only the teachers, because inside the parents we could find several resources or ideas that could help us. And also I think that this could be a workshop, a practical workshop, but also probably we have to do probably it was interesting the experience of Spain, or probably using arrhythmia or other arts. We have to work to find the logos of the school.
Exactly.
Because every one of us actually in the conscious soul era are working in the I'm working with my logos, you are working with your logos, but probably we have to find the logos of the school, because we say that each school has a sort of logos that works on every people, but it's not so clear what is operating. No, I don't know if you understand. It's not so easy.
Yeah.
But, okay.
We understand.
Okay, probably an instrument to work on these logos could be a workshop based to the Maslow pyramid. It could be a good point to start. But I'm thinking about this, but in the future we could develop this with Erica and you. Okay, I try to. If Erica, I miss something, she can also.
Yeah, I can add that from the questionnaire. You hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
From the questionnaire, also we worked on the question, no, the main question of change that Manuel drew mainly, and also on the steering principle that are behind.
Yes.
And the steering principle that was more strong is that the Waldorf teacher is a missionary, has to sacrifice his family, his time, and everything for this mission. But the idea was also in the workshop to share this, what we found out from this. And if we are aware that this is a steering principle that the school want to go on with. And probably,
oh, sorry.
And probably it's something that has to be changed to go so far away in the future, new schools up and nursery and so on, to go in that direction. We have with the school board to see what are the steering principles that can sustain all this big gesture of change, because this is a big school, as 250 children, is functioning well, but is inside that there are suffering, we can say, of the teachers.
Thank you very much. Erika.
I can add one thing. I was more interesting for me to see that, I have been in several schools in Europe, in Madrid, also in London or in Poland, but and then one time I have been in a Waldorf school in San Francisco. Very interesting because I found that this type of way of sacrifice is more widespread in Europe. In the USA, they have a different way of a relationship between the works and the money, and there all things were more clear about this, and I didn't find this type of critical issues in the USA. They have other critical issues, but not this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing. Angelica? You're
Yes,
next.
I'm not moving to USA. I'm still remaining in Europe. Yeah, we have. I found myself in your story. I prepared a few words written so it's easier to understand about our school. We have. Yeah, we are Waldorf Sofia School from Romania. We are in the center of the country. In Romania, there are only 2 private schools. It's us and also one school in Bucharest, the capital. And it's difficult because only from the last 2 years, we receive financial support from the state. This means we are autonomous and we have to coordinate ourselves with everything. We started with kindergarten and now we have until 8th grade children, and in 1 year we prepare also for the high school. We are here accredited. School is the final, let's say, recognition of the pedagogy by the Minister of Education. And we have around 300 children and a big team of teachers because we also prepare for the future. And we work very good with the local community. This means other NGOs or representative institution from the Ministry of Education. This is very good. And we also work, I think, good with our parents community. This is, let's say, our school model. We have 4 areas in which we act. One is the social part, where are involved the teachers and parents and other NGOs. We collaborate together. There is the economic area where
Angelica, we only see the first one, so I don't know if you want to show us the.
Yes, you. Oh, okay.
It was not moving. I thought it was because of my phone, but.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So this. Sorry, maybe visually it's more clear. So
Yes.
it's the social area, the economic part, where we have to think about the financial, marketing, administration of the school, the juridic, everything that takes care of the personnel, contracts, licenses, authorization, and the spiritual work. For the teachers, we have also a group that studies anthroposophy, and also parents come, not many, but there is, let's say, an impulse also in that area. And out of these areas, we have representatives in the Council of Administration, yes, let's say the board of the school. And these representatives are also founders, parents, and teachers. This project for us it's meaningful, especially because we are a new school, and sharing this experience can help us broaden our consciousness and perspective. And the first time I met with Roxana and Alexandra, we came to the leadership question. How can we raise awareness that the school is an alive entity, and decisions that we make should follow the school interests? Because in the board we meet founders, teachers, parents, but when it comes to taking decisions, everyone was very, let's say, subjective in his or her opinion. If it's a parent, or if it's a teacher, or if it's a founder. So I think here is something where we can work. After having a process of questioning the question, I think that's the name of the process we went through. Then this question transformed into how can each of us become more responsible for the development of the school. And in the second stage of the project, we did also a process, and it came like an image that even though we are different, even though we have different responsibilities or role, even though we act in different areas, we are all connected. It was an image like we are all in the circle, hand by hand. And in the middle, there is the being of the school, like a powerful light. And we are all connected to it, and we are all interconnected. And this was a feeling of brotherhood between all those members. And if we don't forget this and we connect to that level, then it's easier to take decisions, because we all know why we are there. So we came with a question, let's say, the third stage of the question, which is, I think, the last one, I hope. How can we reach the fraternal responsibility for the development of the school? And out of this question, we put some indicators and questions for the questionnaire. We didn't run the questionnaire yet between the member of the school board and not only, but these are the levels we are thinking of. Quality human relationships, which relate to cooperation, communication, and connection with the impulse, we said, with the being of the school. Also a sense of responsibility for each one of us, if we are clear about the role, if we are clear about our responsibilities, and how do we think we are involved in those responsibilities. Then an indicator regarding the decision-making process, the quality of this decision-making process. And the fourth one is this connection with the impulse of the school. So we are a work in progress. And I'm waiting for the, let's say, inputs, feedback. It's challenging to work together, but in the same time, it's very fulfilling. And I'm happy for this.
Okay, thank you for sharing. If there are any burning questions right now that you need to go into dialogue, if not, I think class will.
Yeah. And Hans, did you send a new link, or do we use the same link? Oh, you are on mute.
No, it's another link, and I put it in the chat now. So when you click on it, you will see.
Okay, so now we have 20 minutes
yes,
to gather our observations and what we want to reflect back to the schools. And as much as possible, we write on the Jamboard. Then we see each other and we have 10 minutes to give something back to the schools. Have a nice dialogue.
The combination of people in the rooms are now a little bit different. So you find you get new combinations.
Okay.
Weet je, ik wil naar de
Teresa, we can hear you. Okay, now we cannot hear you anymore. But it's okay, you were just laughing, but maybe you have a private conversation and then. It's good to hear you laugh. Okay, is everybody back, class?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So maybe we.
Sorry, I saw that before there was another person there came inside. This was the Alessandra that is our president of the school, but I don't know if she now is gone away or I don't see here anymore. I don't know.
I put her in one of the groups, and I think then she left.
Okay.
Because I did not know who she was, and I just.
Sorry, I was not so quickly to say to you that she was inside. So.
Okay. Yeah.
We hope we didn't scare her.
No.
She was because she came right in the fire there into a room, but
okay. In the break time,
explain.
I will speak with her. And okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the invitation is to give something back, our observations or something that we want to reflect back to the schools. And the invitation is if we can do it quickly, then it's better because we have a break after this. But quickly but seriously. So we first invite room number 1, Angelica.
Yes, this is number 1, what we wrote, but I don't need to necessarily to speak. Maybe one of my colleagues.
In the Italian school, we discuss very much of the process of inspiring process to find the guiding principles and logos of the school, and what is guiding the school. And it's very interesting to see the process, how you work forward to find this principle. And also it's very important, these individual talks of the teachers with administration regarding the critical issues. Free time and money question was there, and also the relation work and free time. And it was really a good case also in Finland, and it's easy to write on the paper in the secret way, but not say to aloud it. And I think it's very important to exercise dialogue skills too. And this Waldorf Romania school, and it's a nice presentation of how the orientation phase and investigation phase is going on, and it's nice that you open up the questionnaire, and also it seems to be very inspiring process now, and of course, I also face the next phase, experimentation phase. What is interesting there? What will become?
Thank you. Something else, or we can go to breakout too?
I made my things about the word brotherhood, because for me it's always interesting to see that when people feel the word brotherhood only related to feelings, this could be a problem, because I say that in my family, I have a brother, for instance, and my relationship with him, it could be only related on feelings, because it is very strength on this one. But when I am in a relationship with other person, that it could be another teacher or a parent, the brotherhood should be not only related to feelings, but also in the practical things, also in all the areas that involve the working process. Because a brother is always ready to help someone. But when you help someone, you have to do this in a certain way, because your help should be timely, appropriate, and momentary, and not for all the life. In my vision. So for me, it was interesting to think about this word. Okay, I don't know if okay, I can express.
Thank you. Very interesting. Something else from room number 2 that you would like to add?
This was not room number 2, but could you show the
Jamboard?
The Jamboard, yeah.
The stickies.
Which room number?
2.
Oh, 2.
Shall I do it?
Yeah.
I hope that someone look after it. I write, but it is not very good English. So I write, but we have talk about it. And the yellow one is Italy, and the blue one is Romania. Yeah, is it help to? We have.
Maybe you point out 1 or 2 things.
Yes. Oh, the others helped. Yeah, we have also what's it's interesting why they talk about it, the dialogue. So the dialogue about the 3 things you told about Italy, and when there are 2 people, they have a question. So what's happening? That's one of the things, and we have talked about that is in many schools of many countries, the popularity about the care of the children, the young children, and the upper school. And we have talked about this what does leadership about these questions of leadership and the time the children are living. So not where we came from, but what's the question of the children this time, and how do we do that as a leader in a Waldorf school? And the other help, please.
Yeah, for me it was very interesting to hear that in Spain There is not the question about if it's right or wrong to open the nursery. That the federation doesn't come in the decision of the schools. And instead in Italy, Manuel said that this is an issue. And also that there is a good dialogue between also in the European Council of Waldorf School about families and teachers. What now the spirit of the time is needed. Sorry, there is a bad echo.
I think, Angelica, I think it's a sound from you because you keep appearing.
Okay.
Okay.
It's interesting point that we have not to be against the federation or agree with federation, but start the process of dialogue to stick to the facts of our time. Because if the family need this, they need this. You cannot avoid. And Adrian said it was interesting because the mothers can be now as also to be not only mothers, to be, and I added to be good mothers. You have to be connected with your environment. So can be something new, really, also in the role in the families that we have to make emerge. And this has to do with dialogue, to see facts, to connect to really the needs of this moment. But it was interesting to see that in Italy, there is still this old steering principle so alive. And this
Yes, I can add here that we saw in the different examples that personal leadership of everybody from birth till death becomes a fundamental part of the leadership in a community. And so the leaders in the community can stimulate the personal leadership of children, parents, teachers. Then it makes, it seems to be that in the Romanian school, they have created a very strong community of people, teachers, parents, children, and that personal leadership plays an important role.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we were wondering how old this Romanian school is, just to know in which biographical phase they are now.
Yeah.
How old is the school?
10 years. We celebrated 10 years now in April.
Mm-hmm. So this is something we were reflecting on, the fact that one can see a lot of idealism and this new, well, it's a beginning phase, and you are a very, very strong community. And it has been wonderful to see the clarity and the strength, the way you have exposed also the four working groups. Yeah.
We did this around 3 or 4 years ago, when it was all a cocktail and everybody was doing everything. And we set a weekend together with parents, with teachers, and we worked to have this structure to be helpful and to be also clear for us, the roles and how we are connected, something like this.
Yes. Well, what we can see is that you have worked very hard to create a clear structure. And in other schools, we are trying to transform the old structure into something new. That's I would say, the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
Or how do you make possible that an old structure keeps being alive and keeps, being actual and modern?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Number 3.
Yes, Hans, you're the You're the guest of honor.
Yeah. Well, the balance, we thought it was a very nice presentation of the Italy, and also very recognizable, the different terms. What concerned us was that it was, as we understood, it was pretty hard to communicate about it, and we think it's very important to work on that people speak out about their problems. Another thing was that we think it was very important to transform the steering principle of the missionary teacher to something else, and we are very curious what else. And what was, well, you can look at the other things. What was common with Romania was that in all kind of schools was talked about the being of the school, the logos of the school, so there is a kind of spiritual substance, and we think that speaks out that there is a need to connect with the spiritual reality, and otherwise the growth path makes this process probably important, because when the logos is clear, when the spiritual substance is clear, you can stand and you know what you are, and growth you can manage. So that were the things about the Italy part. Romania, we were very enthusiastic about your presentation. It was strong, it was good structured. We thought about what will be the difference between the primary and the secondary school. We are very curious about it. We think it's very important to bring this questionnaire into your school, and we are very curious about what it will bring. So we ended with find partners in the school to connect with and to communicate it with. Because we understood from Roxana that the questionnaire is built up, but it didn't gone into the school yet. Roxana and Thomas, maybe you have something to add?
That's completely, I think.
Yeah, no, nothing to add. Thank you, Hans. Okay. So I think we already all shared. Yes, we have a 15 minutes break. And then we see each other again and continue with the rest of the schools and a tiny dialogue. And yes, have a nice break and a nice coffee, and see you in 15 minutes.
And bye-bye, Thomas.
Yeah,
Bye.
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 See you later.
Bye,
See you
Thomas.
later. Bye.
Vamos allá. Voy a... No, no, estoy bien.
Okay.
Okay, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So in this third round, we'll hear from Netherlands and a letter from Finland and a few words from Germany. Yes, good.
Yep.
I don't know if everybody is here because it's a bit difficult to see on my phone.
Erika is not here.
Okay.
I think she will jump in.
Yeah, we can start.
Yeah.
Okay, so Netherlands is invited to share their experience with us.
Yes, maybe Hans will help.
Of course.
Say yeah?
Of course, I will help.
Yeah, I thought I have not telling so much, but I'm trying. Our main question is to how to get stability in the school and all the things with it for everyone. It is a school with 9 classes, primary school, 215 children. And I'm the director there. And at the moment, we have started to not to have questions. Yeah, we have started to look about stability. We have many teachers are ill, or so I've written in the, when we had break, and there are from the 20 teachers, 2 with me. They are there's not, yeah, it looks like they are complete in the school at the moment. And we are talking about, we have to try to talk about it, how to get stability. And we started with it with my with Jocelyn. It was also the last time, but she's also ill at the moment.
Oh.
And yeah, and yeah, what we are talking about it because all the things yeah, and we communicate about the question, and that's Hans help. At the moment, we can talk about it. It was so that my colleagues, it is not so that they won't talk about it, but they have no time, no space. And at the moment we can talk about it, and when we communicate, we have the question, what can we do to get stability? And that feels good, because the stability is even less than a few months ago. We have also nog a burning in the school. Yeah, how do you call it?
Fire?
Yes. And we have the luck that this whole school is in fire, but it also came through it. So at the moment, I know I am strong, but at the moment it is to get all the balls in the air, and it's not easy. So, and now what we are talking about it, and it's for some years, and about a week we are going to work with how do you call it, with people together in the team, and to talk about, and it's our strive to work in the school. It's not so very clear talking. And that's what we stand about on the moment, to yeah, to have for every class teacher to have the our from the government we have tests, and so, and we have not doing that very well. So that's the other question. So I'm not talking about a crisis in school, but because together it's better than it was, but it's complex.
Yeah, and from the beginning it was that stability was a big issue. The stability, how can we make the school more stable on all kinds of areas? And we defined 4 important markers. One was role clarity. The second was personal leadership. The third was healthy boundaries. And the fourth was time management. And those 4 markers we add in a kind of questionnaire, but Annemiek and Jocelyn, they didn't put it into a questionnaire, but wanted to speak to people just in the school. I don't know if you did it already.
Yes, we have started with it, and I also communicate via our weekly newsletter, and that is it's a good. It was a good moment to communicate about it because it was doing it. Yeah, yeah, it was good to know it, and there was no
resistance. They just could accept it. And you
yes.
didn't get any resistance. So
no.
Do you also already have a kind of experience what people think about it, about this stability and their personal leadership? And
now, yeah, it's a little bit because I'm glad that we can talk about it and I can ask the question. But the first thing they said, how can we communicate with, because we have so less colleagues on the, yeah, and new colleagues and colleagues from, I don't know if that is in the other countries also, but we have a bureau, and there come colleagues to stand before the class, and they don't know what is a Waldorf school.
Yeah,
that's in the moment, and I have also some classes at home, some days in a week. That's the
because there is no teacher.
Yes, that's the situation, and yes, and I'm feeling they now what is about it that they want to connect with the anthroposophy. That is also that when we do that, and I try it. So I'm sometimes I'm in the evening a moment to have yeah, to connect. And there are some 1 or 2 or 3 colleagues, but I've said only if I am alone, I'm doing it. And so and that are good evenings. So yeah, it's not so yeah, how do you call it? That's the situation on this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it would be very nice when people reflect on this situation and give tips.
Yeah. Yeah, and about a week we have a day. Then we can talk with people from outside, and we are going to look at what is the strive, how you call it, the streven, the strive to be and to live to teach in the school, and there's much opportunity, but I'm constantly saying we all want it, and it's going down, and I'm looking forward to it, and it's asking me to introduce the day, and I'm very helpful with the fairy tale Snow White, because I'm also thinking about that team to begin with the colleagues. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you. Maybe if there are any questions about this that be clarified before we move on.
Yeah, and what I can talk about it, it's we are a fine school. So, but we are not typical Waldorf school. We have 90% children from the neighborhood, from because they live near the school, and they said, "Oh, nice school." Then we go there, and it's also with the teachers. Yeah.
Sorry, I just have a question. I didn't quite understand. You were speaking about the fact that in the classroom there was no teacher. Can you please explain this once more?
Yes, we have much illness, and it's not made with the school. So let that be clear. Yes, and sometimes I have no teachers, so then the children go home. Yeah.
Because there's also in the Netherlands there is a lack of teachers.
Yes.
It's all over the country, and Almelo is on the east side. There are more or less teachers.
Okay, and who substitutes Who substitutes the ill teachers? Who's doing substitutions?
Wie doet de vervanging?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is. There is from all schools in the Netherlands. There are some. Yeah, how do you call it? Bureaus, and they have teachers. They go to different schools, and I can phone them.
Okay.
But also they have no teachers.
Wow.
So all the people who are giving German are going through the classroom, or I am also regularly have a class. The teachers were help, remedial help. So that's what we try.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
And we have some young. Sorry.
Now, a question, because I am touched by this story. There are no teachers, and there is because normally it's growing movement, the Waldorf one, and you have an idea why there is this lack of teachers?
Yes, because yeah, but it is a Netherlands problem, or probably a European problem. There are less teachers because they had to work too long. They have not paid with other hoe heet dat, beroepen? So there are less teachers, and I'm not the only school. This is.
It's also because people are getting old, so the old teachers
also
getting old and are going with pension.
Yeah.
There are less teachers. It's a problem which is said 10 years ago to the government, but they didn't do anything to it. So now there is suddenly a lack of teachers. Also after the Corona crisis,
yes,
a lot of teachers went ill or stopped or whatever. So all over the place there are too less teachers.
And the government give a part of the money for to pay the teachers. So this is strange.
Yeah.
Because,
yes. And the other side is that when we have a place for a teacher, there is interesting from all the teachers. They want older teachers. They work in regular schools. They have interest because they see something in Waldorf they like. So, but yeah.
Okay.
Adrian, you're mute. Adrian, we don't hear you.
Yeah, I have a suggestion in terms of stability, maybe to look for the stability in the way you deal with all these issues.
I can't.
In the way you
the last thing.
So stability will not happen because everything will be stable, but stability can be reached maybe in the way you deal with all these issues.
Yes.
When that is stable, and then the way you communicate with each other and deal with it, then maybe you get some kind of inner stability.
Yes.
Nevertheless, you are able to handle it in a certain way. And the second suggestion is maybe look a little bit about how to teach without a teacher.
Yes, we're also looking at it, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. So you already got some questions and tips ahead of the dialogue, which is this is the advantage in the last round. So I would say before we go to dialogue that we hear the letter from Finland, and then the words that, or a few words from class from the Germany school.
Okay. My case from Finland is this Espoo Steiner School, and process owners in this project is Deputy Director Maria Virkkilä and teacher Janna Herttuainen, and Director Philip Väyrynen. Have a weekly dialogues with them, and they are the process owners. And I get a message this morning from Maria. I actually yesterday sent her the question, how is the situation in this project now? And in this phase, I want to thank you, Adrian, because you teach Maria the IMO methodology many years ago. And also I thank you, Klaas, because we have possibility to have a together dialogue with Maria, Janna, and I want to invite also Klaas, because I want to be sure that this investigation phase have enough quality, and it was very inspiring session. And Maria, she sent a letter this morning to me, and I read it now. We have had discussions amongst our co-workers about the problems we would want to fix or tackle at our school. And in the orientation phase, they make large research work. And if you are interested, they are in English in the notebook. And they look the problems what are in this school, and also they make so-called concept definitions, what they mean, what motivation means, what creativity means, and I like very much this, that they write in the notebook. And then the second point is that they started with how to have more commitment and slowly focused on one of the main facilitators of motivation, engagement, and that is creativity. And they find the creativity the learning point. Our research question at the moment is, how does adding possibilities for using creativity affect engagement in school? We researched creativity at organization and made a questionnaire. We got about half of the recipients to answer. After studying the answers, we decided to take teamwork as our experimentation and fixed of the problems that popped out from the questionnaire. And one thing is, what we discussed together with Klaas is that what is the process or case that they can test the play rules or guidelines, and they take now the teamwork. They want to develop teamwork and creativity there. And then she continues, we have had a meeting with our school leadership group and had a presentation about the results and our proposed actions. And for next phase, we are going to have, our dream is to have more communication, better guidelines, and more support. And next step is now that they make some kind of pilot of some processes in the teamwork, and let's see what happens. I'm sure that it will be nice case. And what is also very nice, because the Association for Waldorf Schools director Pia Pale is connected with this team, and they want to develop together the process. And also I think that this is an example also in Finland. They say to me that they hope that this case is also example in Finland. Okay, thank you very much.
Nice, thank you for sharing, Terta. And now Klaas on behalf of Germany.
Yeah. So I had a phone call with Hanyo Aghatzi from Germany, who is IMO colleague working together with the people from the Free Waldorf School in München, Kim Ranft and Anna Appelrath. And he told me that it is, so far it was quite difficult to find places in their calendar to make appointments for meetings, because they were so busy in running that school that it was almost impossible to have those meetings. But they finally succeeded in it, and out of this difficulty of making appointment, the question came up. The leading question, the question for this project came: how can we create moments in which we connect our daily business, our daily work, to the impulse of the Steiner school, the logos, or whatever you name it, the spiritual part of the organization. That is their main challenge. And they also had dialogues with other people in the schools that they experience the same question: how to. They have the image of I can show you because Hanyo sent to me a presentation. Where is it? No, I cannot find it. Anyway, he sent me a presentation where you can see the like interweaving pattern of lines, and one line is all the daily activities, the issues that has to be solved, crises and routines on the one hand, and on the other hand, making time to connect to the spirit, to the impulse of the school. And a lot of people suffer of having not a connection in the work life with this impulse. So they will start a kind of an experiment, start in June, in which they invite, it's an open invitation, all people in the school who really want to work on this question, want to make a development step, to connect the busy life with the impulse of the school. And that will be an experiment. They want to have also tips and ideas and feedback from you, how to do such a kind of an experiment that really the paying attention for the spirit is not apart from the work life, but it is integrated in the work life in the school. So that is what they are aiming for. I think that is the most important thing I want to share from the German group. So a lot of people have the same feeling. Yes, this is important, but they have no time to really reflect on it together.
Thank you, class. Okay, so then we can go for the breakout rooms for our last dialogue session in 3 over the school in Netherlands and the contributions of Terta and class for Finland and Germany.
Yeah,
I put a link into the chat for round 3.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. So I invite you to shortly share with us some reflections on the schools, and then we will have a dialogue in pairs. Yes, but so we still have time for the rest of the process. My invitation is if we can share shortly the observations for these schools. Yes. So from room 1, do we have something?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, this issue of not having time to reflect on the impulse and the sense making. So I think this is really a leadership issue. And I think when we don't have time like that, there's something lacking in the leadership. Leadership consciousness, how essential it is, especially in rural schools, to create this time. And my suggestion was parallel, it needed to simplify our activities. We are much too ambitious in schools with all kinds of projects and things and so on. That the teachers also have to do, that we are not really any more than really able to concentrate on essential. So maybe schools can start the process of simplifying and saying goodbye to a lot of projects and activities that are taking a lot of time and energy, but are not really fruitful.
Thank you. Room number 2.
Sorry, we are in number 2 now.
Yes.
We put some stickers about Netherlands, so I can read something. One is clarify rules. Another is the possibility of realize an introduction book to help the external teacher that are not from Waldorf school to orient themselves in a short time on Waldorf education.
Mm-hmm.
They have this type of necessity, no? Then to do small recovery steps every day to help the teacher that are ill, and also the possibility to find that knowledge processes that can help people that are ill to improve their logos, because when you are ill, it is strictly related on your thoughts. So probably there could be interesting to make a research about how is the thinking process of the persons. And for Germany, we wrote something about how to inspire the moment and the possibility to create space of reflections.
Thank you very much. And the room number 3, some observations.
Yeah. Shall I do that, or Erika?
Yeah, you wrote also.
Okay. First of all, we were also shocked by the image of the school in the Netherlands. It was a big responsibility on the shoulder of Annemiek, and we feel with her. And questions came up like, where is the angel of the school? What can you do about the lack of teachers? It feels like a loneliness and abandonness kind of image came up like that. And maybe it's nice to build a strong community with teachers and parents and try to communicate with them and try to get an image of what is happening and what can we do from each other's perspective. That was for the Netherlands. For Finland, we couldn't quite connect with the question because we understood there is a difficulty about commitment. But how do you connect this with the creativity? Is there also a question about motivation? We couldn't imagine quite clear what tips we could give about that. And about Germany, it's about what Adrian also said, just make time, stop the time and become proactive. That were the bigger issues.
Okay, thank you very much. We hope it was inspiring for all of you. Class, if you can help me with sharing the screen now, we will invite you to dialogue in pairs, so two people, and we had 15 minutes for this, but I think it's better to have 10 minutes, so we still have some time in plenary. So we invite you to share with your colleague what do I take for myself and the school from the experience of today, and what is my next step. So what I want to do next. And at the end of this 10 minutes, please take some time and set up a time and a date to meet with the person that you're in this dialogue with and share about your school. So, of course, it is an invitation. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. But our invitation is that you already set a time and a date. And this way, we want to start connecting maybe a bit more closely between us and share about our schools, our questions, our challenges in a more personal way. So at this point, that would be all. I think it's you can stop sharing, class. And we invite you to dialogue in pairs about this. So what can I take for myself and the school from this meeting today, and what is my next step? So what I'm going to do. And then set up a meeting in the in this next period. I don't know. Each of you can choose when you would like to meet again.
What I did now is I create rooms. I create 4 rooms, 2 with the emo colleagues and 2 with the schools. So we have now separate meetings, schools together and emo colleagues together.
Okay.
So here we go. So 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
What happened today, it was very fruitful for me personally. And I think meetings like this, where you really can listen to each other and understand each other and connect for real, is what builds up a real network. Yeah, so it was very, very good. Thank you. We should do this more and invite also other schools little by little until we have a huge network.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that the network has a focus, and I think the focus is action research on the leadership. That is the common the common issue, and I just had a dialogue with Hans, and we concluded both that this is the critical issue for the future of all the schools. Not new models and new structures and new this and new that, but how to strengthen the leadership that we can handle the challenges, like in Italy, the nurturing from 1 to 3, the bovenbouw, the upper school. How it's nice, but can we deal with it? Can we lead it? So I think this is a central theme, and the network should be done on this focus.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, people from schools can say we have issues and we don't know so good how to handle them. And one fundamental idea behind it is when you talk about leadership, I've noticed already 50 years long, also in companies, the real issues come on the table. When you talk about quality and other issues, not the real issues come on the table. But when you talk about leadership, then the real dilemmas, the real questions come on the table. So that's great. Then you can communicate on something that makes sense. This is and not talk about all kinds of things that take time, but it doesn't make any difference. Sorry, that was my suggestion.
What I like.
So this.
Oh, sorry.
No, so this focus on leadership, it's like the core of the network
Action,
that orders this.
Action research on leadership in all the schools. Also,
What I
with
like-
action research is important that it's a research group and not just a talking
Yeah.
network. They do research together and learn from each other and help each other to find ways of dealing with this.
What I like most today was again that you see that all the different issues in different countries have a kind of similarity, and the similarity is in responsibility, leadership, stability, and how to deal with time and with focus and the spiritual essence of the school. I like it very much, and I know that in the European Council there are a lot of people who also are now directed to this issue of leadership in Waldorf schools. And in October we will have a common conference in which we have our own conference, but also have a connection with them. So there we can meet, and there we can try to expand our experiences on leadership and action research on leadership. And probably I think that will be very fruitful for the building up of the network.
Yeah, on my side, I have to say that what I heard is action research on leadership, because we started from that. But we oriented the leadership question that became, what is not going well? What are critical elements that shows that the leadership has to be improved? And from that, we went in issues, and now the question arises again. Which type of leadership for that issues? Which leadership created these problems, and what is to improve that? So for me, is in the process of action research, what we did and what came up is an initial phase. Now we have to investigate better how to improve leadership on that, and so on. So I feel that we are in a good track.
And I want to say that when I follow my Espoo Steiner school, I'm very happy that they make action research notes in the notebook. And it's very nice to see what are the problems, how the questions change, and it's very important to make notes when you make action research. Then you remember the process, what has happened. Yeah. And that's very good, this notebook. Thank you very much for that.
I think it was...
And just to finish what I said, it can be interesting for us, consultant of IMO, to share the difficulties or also the doubts to work on leadership question. We already shared with some colleagues. What does it mean exactly? How we manage this? And so the appointment we will talk with Roxana and Terta. I look forward.
Yeah. Yes. And I will make an invitation for all the consultants in the project to meet and share about our process and how we work, and also get our inspiration, like schools inspire themselves with their experience, for us to do the same.
But what happened with the president of the Aurora school?
Okay, as usually, the president receive a call for something that related to the school, and she is going away. But okay, so it's for me, it's I'm a little sorry about the not to be able to involve other person during this. This meeting, because it was very interesting, and for me it could be interesting also for other teachers, but I think sometimes the English language fears someone. But okay.
In Spain, it's the same situation.
Yeah.
We offered our colleagues, nobody has turned up. I would just like to say that today, just listening to all of you gives you a broader vision of what's going on.
Yeah.
And the feeling that one is not alone, because we're all of us are tackling the same problem with a different color, but it's the same question. And I agree with Erika that the next step would be to be more concrete. What are the actual difficulties and how are we going to approach them? Thank you very much, because it's wonderful to hear from all of you what's going on.
Yeah, I'm agree with Olga, but I feel that we need to work in the school, in the community, more anthroposophy. And we don't have time, we don't have interest. Why we are ill or only tired? Well, we have to concrete.
Yes, maybe a last feedback from the schools.
Maybe what I found interesting in Romania, maybe you can say a little bit, Angelica, about this entrepreneurs running the school and the pedagogical director running the teaching, so to say, and how they cooperate. So this is very important for the input.
Yes. In the last session we had together, we came to conclusion that leadership is very important, but competencies of those leaders are more important. And for this, maybe sometimes a teacher is not able to take decisions or to have the skills needed to lead a school in the moment. And that's why it's important to have entrepreneurs. For example, in our school, the founders, we are 4, but all of us come from the business areas. We are not teachers. For the pedagogical side, we have Dana, which is director of the teachers, and we work together and we consult each other, but she has autonomy in that pedagogical because she is the expert there, and we have autonomy in the management, finance, organizing events, because there we are the experts. And this working together is very good for the school, because we have let's say results, or we are good in what we do in class, but also outside of the class.
And I related this to the origin of the school, which was created by Mr. Mold, an entrepreneur, together with Mr. Steiner, pedagogical. We forget a little bit, we say Steiner school, but we also could say Mold school. And if we neglect Mold in the school, we get trouble.
Sorry, I have a question. This pedagogical director is free of hour of teaching?
No, she also teaches.
Yeah, how many hours?
Like all the others. I mean, she has a class.
Yeah.
She's at the 6th grade leading teacher. How do you say that in English?
Mentor. Yeah, she's the
Yeah,
mentor.
it's a mentor.
Yes, yes.
Tutor es esto, genial.
This is like the two like practical and philosophy, the two, cum se zice în român asta? Între două curente, two
streams.
Two streams. Philosophy and practical. Platon, Aristotle.
Is she paid for the hours she works as a pedagogical director?
Yes, she is paid extra for being a director.
Okay. Yeah. And how many hours does she invest in being a director? How many hours is that, more or less?
We don't look at the clock to say.
Of course,
when
but
it's needed. When it's needed, she has meetings. When not, she's free.
okay.
Yeah.
7 days, 24 hours.
No, 7 days, 24. For example, from 8 until 2 o'clock. Maybe she has classes from 8 till 12:01, and then 1 hour, 2 hours to arrange other meetings, organizing.
2 horas,
2 horas al día, que son 10 a la semana.
Not, she's not living in the school. She also has personal life. It's important for us to be in balance. It's the one criteria when we hire people. We say you only work 4 hours with children. Next, maybe you prepare 1, 2, and rest you're free. And if we see 1, 2 that they, I don't know, it's 3 in the afternoon and they are still in the school, I go to them and say, what are you doing here? Go home, do something for you. It's important because otherwise you cannot perform well. So we have teachers working in the morning and teachers working in the afternoon. It's difficult financially, but it's healthier.
Es difícil, ¿eh?
Thank you for sharing. So feel free to connect between yourselves and ask about how are you doing this in your school. I think from my perspective, what is important, as Adrian said, is that we have in the center this action research on leadership, that we meet and we discuss about our own experience, and that we are all in a process. So we are not just living out and about and coming to catch up from time to time, but we are all in a process of wanting to improve, to change something in our school. So this can make our meetings alive, fruitful, inspiring. We can inspire each other. And I think it's also good if we start to connect personally. So this would be our invitation, to connect with the person you are in the dialogue with, to connect with someone else that is interesting for you in the group. Just write an email and say, hey, can we meet? And let's have a meeting and talk about this, and to start to build a relationship between us and to support each other. Okay, so I think we are already 4 minutes past our time, but we still need to say a few words about the next conference and the next meeting. So Hans?
Yeah, the next conference I'm busy with, it will be in Eindhoven. X-Ray was organizing this. They decided to be in Eindhoven, on the upper school in Eindhoven. It is October 20th. I think our conference starts at 3 o'clock on the 20th. It's a Friday, and will end the Saturday afterwards at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The program I'm working on now, so I will communicate it with you. And the next intervision meeting, when all the schools are doing intervision in accordance to the action research we are doing, it's on June 14th between 3 and 5. So I hope to see everyone. And when you have questions about conference, like the conference, some people asked about the payment, because we have a kind of payment from the European Committee, but we are not, we don't know yet how much we can use to make people able to come, but that we will try to communicate on the June the 14th. Is that clear?
Sorry, I would like to ask you something.
Yeah.
Possible if because, for example, this next meeting on a Wednesday afternoon, I work, for example,
Yeah.
And I would like to ask you whether it would be possible in the future that our meetings could be on a Friday or on a Saturday, but not throughout the week, because it means, in my case, it means I have to stop working and I have to change my whole calendar. I don't know, I guess everybody has their own calendar, but on a Friday it's easier than in the middle of the week to meet.
And yes, I agree. And another option can be to do that not in the middle of the date, but can be after 18 that we finished our journey, our job.
So in the evening.
Yeah, late afternoon, that is better.
For me, it would be better also, not.
What's then a good time when we say 18 or 19 or?
Yeah. From 18 onwards.
Okay. We can look at it because we have a whole plan and then we have to reorganize, but we can look at it.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other questions before we close?
No, just one thing. I wanted to,
maybe you want to put them in.
I wanted to. I just wanted to offer for the next time, together with Teresa, a short eurythmy exercise. Yeah, actually, I prepared something yesterday evening, but I didn't know if I would have a voice. So just that you know, we've been working on leadership, and we have plenty of exercises which I think you will like, and we'll also laugh. It's not only going to be serious, and I think this can be something very realistic for us working together in this IMO project.
Nice.
Of course, only if you want.
It's our offer.
Yes, thank you very much. So this would be for the intervision meeting or for the conference?
Whatever, both. Can be for both.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much time should we set apart for this, Olga?
10 minutes.
It's
can be 5 minutes as well. Whatever.
No, it's whatever you need, but we have just to know how to build a schedule.
I can adapt it to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you think is the most appropriate.
No, it's okay. It's for us 5 or 10, it's fine.
10 minutes
it doesn't it's just to know. Yes. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good.
Okay.
Then I think if there are no other questions or remarks.
I made a recording of this whole session, and as soon as it is edited, I will share it with you.
Thank you for this experience and for sharing with us. And we'll see you in June.
Yep.
Bye.
See you.
Bye-bye. Good
you.
luck.
Bye.
Ciao.
Take care.
Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
So,
okay.
Here we are.
Just 2 minutes. Yes. Yep. Just to close between us. So, something that you would like to share at this point? We are 10 minutes late. I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I thought it was a very good meeting. It was said that there were no more participants, but it was good. And the things we heard were very interesting. Yeah. So I think it will be good if we make a summary, kind of what are the real questions and what's the kind of how do you say this, the things under it.
Yeah.
Because there is a kind of similarity between all those difficulties people experience, and that's nice to pick out and give a kind of new impulse. Also a suggestion for experimenting or something like that.
And how would you think to do this summary?
Well, I think somebody has to make it, and then we have to discuss it in the email consultants community, and then we have to try to look at what is the core of this question and what can we do. For me now, very quick, I think the core question is about how can we become more proactive. It's the underlayer of time management. It's the underlayer of personal leadership, and that is that people are filled up with reactivity instead of being proactive to what comes to them. And what can we do as an experiment to become proactive as a leader? So something like that. It would be nice to have a few of those suggestions for the next step, I think.
So we already announced that there will be a meeting for all the consultants. Then we can when I make the invitation, yes, I can put this as a subject that we will talk about. What are the underlying issues that leadership issues that are appearing, yes, in our processes? And then we can gather this, or if you have another idea, just let me know. I just remember we forgot to tell them about the Jamboard, but we will send this because all the notes, they're for the school, so we are going to send the Jamboards to them.
I make a collection of PDF that's and I make a collection and then I send it to you and we send it together to the schools, I think.
Is it also
so I would say,
is
Hans,
it also possible?
I would say if you can formulate your idea.
Yeah.
If you can formulate your idea, and maybe you can also start a document with what you observed, because you already have these infos, and then we can all add to this. But maybe you can formulate your idea so that I integrate it in the message I send it to just put it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And then I integrate it in the invitation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Class?
Yeah, there were the presentation and the talks, but the Jamboard, does it also provide stuff to make this kind of summary and this stream, so to say, what is lying behind?
I think. Yeah.
Okay. And there's also a possibility. One possibility is to have to make a summary of what was gathered from this and to make it available. But I think we are feeding them a lot, honestly.
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't like to keep just for us to keep being the people that, that create coherence necessarily for give them content or give them, yes. Because I don't know, do they really need a summary from us?
No, it's more for us.
Yeah.
More for us.
Yes. So yeah, I wouldn't want to put us in this position, but because then they will start expecting us to always summarize their experiences, and I think it's not a good way. But I think for us it's important to draw our some ideas and to get some orientation in our process, and it will be helpful for also for the colleagues to orient in their processes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the meeting today, although I did not join the groups, but I think everything went smoothly and yeah, good conversations.
I think the sharing was a bit free, So each school actually shared what they wanted to share, but I think it was very valuable because each they brought something very like an inspiration or a perspective very strongly. So
yeah,
And
I think
Angelica did the best presentation because
of the process for us, but
yeah, for us, yeah. I think it would be nice when people know what to do when they have to make a presentation for the next time in the conference. It would be nice to give them some support in how do you make a presentation for 10 minutes. This and this and this you have to mention or something like that. Because now it was a kind of free spoken word. That's also okay for now, but I think it can be more structured and it will.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I think it can be more structured. I think for this moment it was okay like this, so we don't scare them off with homework. And then they also had an example because they also saw that okay, I could have had a nice presentation that is more clear, that is more organized. So I think this was okay in a way. In another way, I think, for example, for them, it was more inspiring. They were more inspiring the other presentations. I have to say. So, but I think it was okay for this moment. Maybe for the next conference, if we ask them to do this again, we can make it differently. We can make it a bit more with a bit more request.
Yeah, and because it's also live, so that's another thing. You see the people. It's different. You can't just talk about something. You have to give a presentation. Then I think.
And I got the impression that it's not the process, like the action research was not extremely developed, like to be able to to share a lot about the action research. Although, for example, with Madrid, we did the same. We did with Romania, the same steps, the same processes. They didn't mention it, so it's
But that's for me. It's the question with the Spanish people that they are busy with something outside them instead of inside them. Their leadership question is about how can we organize the other people to become more willing instead of thinking. And I think I asked them, but what is your leadership question? But they didn't catch it. It's still something outside them.
Yeah, I noticed this because if you hear, they mention their leadership question. Their leadership question is, how can I become responsible in a balanced way, or something like this. But for me, what is strange is that they came with this eurythmy idea. We worked, and their question is about something else. So okay, I don't deny that eurythmy can be a tool, but them being eurythmists, they all the time come back to the same thing. Although the question is, and the issues that come up in the school are connected with responsibility, with autonomy. So we work something in the meetings, they realize, they see how things are changing in personal, individual responsibility,
But they see it changing in the
today
others.
all they talked about was
in the others and not in themselves. So their question, how can I get balance in? They put in the others how they can balance. So that's nice that they are attributing externally instead of internally.
Yes, I can feel some rigidity here.
Yeah, yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what we
It,
see.
it's yes, it is the process. We don't know.
Ja. Oh. Nee, je hoeft me niet van dienst te zijn.
Roxana, are you still also involved in this Spanish with the Spanish school, or are you concentrating now on Romania school?
No.
Both.
We work the same. Me with from the beginning. Me with Alexandra with the Romanian and with the Spanish. So everything we did together with both schools.
Okay.
Okay, let's end and see each other.
Okay, so yes. So what we need to do next? This is my question. What we need to do next after this conference? I will make the invitation for the consultants, for the meeting of the consultants. Let me know, formulate your idea, Hans, so I can integrate it.
Yeah.
Do you want to make this a WhatsApp group? I don't really see the need, but I think we can make a list with the numbers or something like this, because I don't think we interact so much that we need a WhatsApp group.
No.
But do we have a list or something? Maybe we can start a list.
There's a list. There is
with the numbers.
a few numbers. I think we have a few numbers. So we can look at it if we can make it fuller, but there is a list.
I think it's okay if we have the emails and a few numbers, because I don't think they will call each other. You know, if they have an email, I think it's enough contact. You can also ask for a phone number. So to make available the list of emails.
Yeah.
It's that list with all the. I think we can put the link of the Google Doc, no, with participants. Okay. And I think this we can integrate in the email with the Jamboards.
Yeah.
Something else that we need to send to them now after the conference?
No,
this recording.
And this okay, and the recording.
A link in it from it.
The link.
So it's an email with 3 links. One is for the Jamboard, one is for the recording, and one is for the document on the drive with the list of participants.
Yeah.
Okay. So who should I make this email, or you want to make it, or?
Yeah, maybe you
when you make a setup.
Yeah.
A setup? What do you mean?
A concept. When
draft.
Draft, that's the name. When you can make it up, then we can support it.
Yeah.
Okay. It will be anyway very simple, just because nobody has time to read long. We don't need a story about this conference because we were there. Okay. And yeah, if you think something else I need to integrate in the invitation for the consultants. So I really think we need to coordinate a bit on the process and what we do as consultants in this project.
And how do we come to the date with the consultants? Do we put a doodle or something?
I would put a doodle, but I don't know how to do it.
Okay, I can do it too.
Okay. Then in the invitation, I just say that you will.
Or I make a link. No. Well, make it in the invitation, and then I look at the doodle maybe I can make it in front. And then we send it together.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Then I will give you some dates. No?
Yeah.
I will give you some proposals of dates.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Or if you have a preference, you can tell me.
No, I don't have. Just
Okay.
just do a proposal and I will send it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Something else that we need to talk right now?
I should say, enjoy your free Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to a Waldorf school, one of our the schools that I'm working with here in Romania is having a summer fair, so I'm going to visit them.
Oh, nice.
It's my Waldorf day. Yes.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Yeah.
You too. Okay, so we talk on the WhatsApp group, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have
You
a
too.
have a
You too.
bye.
Bye.